Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to LCK 2020 Spring. We're up to the final game of the day. Hanwha Life versus APK Prince. Two teams that haven't necessarily been doing so well recently.
No, but APK and Hanwha Life coming out here today, this is, I mean, we've said it several times now, I think one of the closest matches that we can get in LCK, even though that might seem weird given that APK is the very bottom of the standings.
Yeah.
They've looked so much better in some of their games than some teams that are actually above them right now.
Yeah, I think even teams like KT and Griffin shouldn't necessarily feel too comfortable.
Yes.
Because both of them are moving towards that relegation zone as well. I mean, we're having this conversation now. I mean, Sandbox is now a part of that conversation as well, a team that we will see for their final match of this round robin tomorrow.
Yep. And
we will learn a lot about them also. But we need to get into this one. Hanwha Life versus APK. I personally feel that this is going to be a Hanwha 2-0. I think they have been
well,
tripping over when they shouldn't have, and I think may have used this time a little bit more effectively.
I would have disagreed with you, Atlas, if it wasn't for knowing that Cover is playing today. And if you remember the promotion matches,
yeah, he won an award, I think, didn't he?
Cover looked like the owner of the team subbed himself in.
Yeah.
It was that kind of a discrepancy in mid lane. He looked very, very different than all of his teammates, and it was a miracle that they ended up actually winning.
Yeah, I was extraordinarily amazed that they were able to make it through. It's the reason why Jinna are no longer with us. Let's have a look at some of these team stats. 6th place in KDA on Hanwha's side, whereas dead last is APK Prince.
Yeah, and you know, they did manage to find a team goal difference at 10. Positive stat here for APK. Remember, this is the rematch, said that in the points of the match, between Hanwha Life and APK from the promotion, or the relegation, whatever you want to call it.
We call it promotion here.
Okay,
Our glass is half full,
year,
as you know.
All
yeah.
Right. So it has been a very long time, though, and obviously both teams have underwent a lot of changes.
Oh, yes.
So it's not really the same team. Team goal difference at 30. APK are pretty consistently
about
losing,
as bad.
And so is Hanwha Life. Yeah. So
we're all tied up.
You know what? If the difference between them is only about 100, right? So,
but also,
the way
how
I
can
look
they
at it,
both be down 5,000 gold at the same time?
Atlas, you need to, honestly.
Whoa.
You need to divide by 0. Okay. You're asking some questions that I just don't think can be answered. And the way I look at that is, well, who's going to have the better scaling comp here? But Ixu against Cube. This is Ixu's biggest chance to shine.
Yep.
It
was this or the Griffin series. And
yeah, this is actually it. The two weakest top laners that he can go up against right now in the LCK. I think Cube is actually weaker than Sword.
Whoa, that's a big call.
But this is going to be really good for Ixu, and that could mean that he could be a driving factor.
Well, let's see how it goes as we get towards the Rift here, as this was a good start to what was not a very fun game for APK. But, I mean, they had to come out of the furnace, right? This is Gen G. They are not only equal first at the moment with T1, but also they have been playing extraordinarily well. So a big uptick for them and different opposition here for APK, as our key matchup will be that top side, Cuvée versus Ixu. Two players that haven't necessarily found themselves so far in the LCK, and you can see that is, yeah, represented in the stats, but some firsts there for Ixu as a jungle presence.
Jungler presence disparity? I don't it says gap. I actually don't know what gap.
Distance from the jungler?
I've never seen that word. So
it's jungle proximity.
I'm sorry.
It's a jungle proximity.
It is jungle proximity. I guess it means proximity. I've just never seen the word, and then it says gap. Jungle proximity gap.
And I guess the jungler seems to be hanging around them more often.
Or no, maybe it's how far away they are.
Oh,
consistently.
right.
Maybe how isolated. I don't.
Maybe they get no help. Neither of these guys.
Putting that into Pop and Go.
Well, we're having a look at Hanwha Life. No surprises there. It will be Lehens and Vista towards the bottom side. Sort of the only real differences that we might have is cycling between Lava and Zenit for the AD carry position, but not going to be mixing anything up just yet. However, on this side,
Jungler intervention rate.
the amount of ganks,
Atlas,
I guess?
leave me alone.
My analyst. Well, Cover is back in the mid lane, guys.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. This is the fun part. We get to see whether he has improved. Because to be perfectly honest, if he hasn't, I'll be very surprised. Because the only way he had to go was up. After his performance at the promotion tournament, it was certainly a rough one for the gentleman in the mid lane for APK, which is why we've seen Keeney for so long and not Cover. But now something's happened. I don't know what it is, but maybe Cover has hit his Super Saiyan form.
Right.
Maybe he's spent this time in the hyperbolic time chamber.
And the other thing is that maybe due to the way that APK likes to draft as well, perhaps something super crazy comes out here again for Hanwha Life today. And will Hanwha Life, I actually feel like they might be one of the teams that would be willing to still pick Soraka, even after seeing... No?
Ixu's got more technology now. It's
Oh.
not only the Zillion towards the top side, which he's already demonstrated here in the LCK. But
Oh, the 25-minute Rod of Ages with mobility boots?
yeah,
that one?
It didn't work. But he's also got the Viger that he can play top lane. That's like another one of his counter picks into the Ornn. And we'll just have to see what APK has
We
prepared
might see
for
Janna
us.
in top.
Ooh.
Have you seen that?
No.
You don't want
I mean,
to.
it sounds like it makes the same amount of sense as Sona top.
It is more obnoxious because you can't engage on it.
No, 'cause
You can
she's
jump on
Janna.
Sona, sort of, but she tornadoes you midair. And then if you do land, she presses R, she knocks you back.
Yeah. And you continue to not have a very good time.
And she can poke you so much better than the other spell thief top laners.
Do you go Q-Max?
I don't even.
With the
You know what,
Zephyr, or do
Atlas?
you
I
just
have.
like-
I have self-respect.
All right, so
Okay.
you haven't been analyzing
Yeah.
the Janna top as
Also,
much.
I have an eye disease, so I'm not trying to look at more things that might.
Make you very
exacerbate
sick.
it, yeah.
No, I completely understand.
Yeah.
I can get with you on that one. We are here in Ban and Pick for game number 1. Hanwha Life will be on our blue side. APK Prince will be on our red side for today's matches. As Alawi is going to hit the deck. That's the old Ixu special taken off the board. Senna being banned as well. I feel like she has assumed the position of Soraka as red side ban.
Interestingly enough, I think that she should be the highest priority now.
I think so too, I agree.
Even though Aphelios and Ornn are still the standard bans, I think that the fasting Senna, as well as just her flexibility overall, because of that dynamic, is just so nice.
Yeah.
And even in patch 10.5, which when LCK does end up resuming, I don't know what patch we're actually going to be on, which is going to be really interesting. Maybe they'll pause the patches because of LPL and LCK, no idea. But in 10.5, they didn't hit it, and that makes me think that even in 10.6, it still might not get hit, because usually patches are 2 patches behind competitive.
Well, that's an Ornn ban on blue, so I'm not entirely sure what that's about. You could imagine that Hanwha probably would have been okay with picking it up, but instead they have a different idea in mind. And it looks like they have paid attention to the amount of study that Ixu, at least, has been doing into the Ornn matchup. Set the final ban, and Cuvée has a pretty decent set, to be perfectly honest. He's found some victories on it in the past. Is Misfortune going to be picked up? Second cab off the rank, you could imagine, as far as the AD carry position is concerned.
Wonka W, you saw that, Atlas, or
No,
what?
what did we see?
Sarkov.
Oh, no.
All right, let's see what is going to be locked in.
Ezreal Yuumi?
Could be Ezreal Yuumi for APK.
Wouldn't be too bad. We saw it dismantled pretty effectively by Dragon X earlier on, but we'll have to see. Flawless might be also valuing his jungle a little bit higher than this. Might try and snap away something like the Jarvan, things like that, but he does have a pretty deep champion pool. He's a man that in solo queue does prefer to play things like the Talia, the Nidalee, things like that. Does like his AP junglers. Big grin on his face, but that is going to be the J4 that we were considering. The classic pick into the misfortune.
And we'll see what Hanwha Life are going to try to draft here. Maybe they would... Well, no, it's going to be a Sejuani. This is definitely much more standard.
Sejuani Azir could come out here if they want to. But no, it is the Yuumi being picked away from APK. I like that a lot.
And now, what is APK going to pick here with Senna banned away? I mean, they do have option to try to match this with a Karma or something of that nature. And Akali into MF, Sejuani, and Yuumi is much like an S word that I can't say on... It pretty questionable.
Well, it's not going to be picked. So thankfully that we've got that going for us. Azir is going to be locked away here for cover. That's going to be his champion that he's going to redeem himself on, at least in his eyes, throughout this part of the draft. See whether the Rift will be able to tell us so, because Tempt is one of our better Azir players here in the LCK.
And the thing about this is that Azir is a champion that I hold a lot of hesitation when seeing it locked in the sense that he's a champion that you have to really be proficient at in order to make the pick worthwhile, but also your team needs to be on that page. And for APK, whose weakness is actually team cohesion, they're mid-game, they're mid to late transition, they're late game. It is such a bizarre pick to see them lock in. Especially because the last time that we saw Cover debut, he looked pretty weak on a mechanical level, and Azir has an extremely high ceiling as well as a very high floor.
There's a lot of nuances to the Pigeon Man in the mid lane, but we cannot throw Cover out just yet. We haven't seen him so far in the LCK this year. It was just Casper Cup that we're, sorry, just the promotion tournament that we're going off. So let us see whether he can show us that he has improved. LeBlanc going to be banned away as there's the Janna ban. Love it. They're banning it anyway.
There we go. Had to inform the collective of the new thing.
Yep.
That it, well, actually, it doesn't work anymore as of the new patch, which did just drop. Because you need an ally to proc.
Got it.
Yeah, so it doesn't work anymore. So it's only going to be on competitive in regions that still have 10.4 enabled.
Lulu support coming in. Okay.
Lulu it might be Lulu.
Oh, God.
We were talking about Lulu earlier.
Yep.
How she is she's a little crazy.
Yeah, I reckon Ixu's going to be explaining to us the color of the taste of purple pretty soon. Is Cube going to pick right into it by the looks of things with this Aatrox? Aatrox doesn't like Lulu very much, guys.
Yeah, I actually don't know why they would.
Oh, God.
I have no idea why they would voluntarily pick Aatrox.
And they banned the Janna. They know that Ixu's going to do something weird. They know that already.
And I like the fact that the Lulu is the perfect mind game to basically say that you don't know where it's going.
Yeah.
And it might just be Lulu in top lane, and she's really fast. She's able to run around and sort of dodge the laning phase. She's so safe. She can reliably poke you so hard. Her base damages early on are also really oppressive. So if APK do lock it in...
That's a zillion, so now we don't know where anything's going.
We don't know where anything's going. Next thing you know, it's going to be Azir top lane, Ezreal mid lane.
Well, I think it might be the Lulu
Jarvan
support.
ADC.
Maybe,
Lulu.
maybe, oh, I don't know. Oh, I mean, I'm expecting Ixu to be playing the Lulu, but okay. We're just going to trade forever. Still, we're going to have to wait the 10 seconds before we know exactly what's going on. We know that Ixu has already played the Zillion top lane so far in the LCK. Grabbing the Spell Thieves and then selling it before it limits your ability to get gold off minions is generally the tactic, and that is going to be the outcome here. As Lulu Ezreal bottom lane is going to be very annoying to do.
It is. It's going to be extremely annoying. And we're going to have to see what ends up happening. Yuumi, Misfortune, Talia, Sejuani, and Aatrox up there in the top lane. A very standard kind of team composition, but with a lot of team fighting power. And that just feels like the way that Hanwha Life should be able to edge out APK.
Yeah. And
But
also, this is Temps Talia as well. He's a very proficient Talia player.
much like a Black Mirror episode, this team composition out of APK is Zilean, Jarvan, Azir, Ezreal, and Lulu. This is going to be interesting. I also don't know what happens when Lulu polymorphs a Yuumi attach target. I don't think I've seen that.
Does it pop the Yuumi? Oh.
Or is Lulu trying to steal Yuumi back?
Does Yuumi then defect and it becomes a 6v4 for the rest of the game?
Man.
Wow, I don't even know.
What you know what they need to they need to make a Pokemon trainer Lulu, and then just have picks be like a poke. You know what I mean? No, you're not. Whatever.
No, I can see that. I can see
Off
that.
the desk. Yeah.
What's it going to be though? What's the Pokemon going to be, or does it cycle through whichever one your favorite
I mean,
is?
pick sort of looks like it's like Jirachi or something.
Oh yeah, you know,
Or like a Celebi. Yeah, Celebi.
Following you around.
Yeah,
Manaphy,
friend of the fort.
following you
Exactly.
around.
Manaphy. Perfect.
Mhm.
Love it. Look at that. I mean, that looks like a Woobat. Any truers or what?
Woobat. Why would you go to Woobat as your option? I mean, Zubat would at least collect a lot more people who understand what Pokemon is. You know, you just went for like totally obscure secondary Zubat
Sword
option.
and Shield just came out. Woobat was.
Yeah, he was in it.
He
But
was
I mean,
in
I
it.
don't think anyone really bothered to play their Woobat that often. I don't think. I don't know, man. But I certainly had a chuckle, so I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot.
I'm glad you liked it. We take a look at the runes here. Lahens with the Guardian. Bone plating as well. Yuumi never gets hit. What? But I guess there's nothing else to really...
Wants to play with your health bar
Get
a little bit
down
more,
there.
as you can see. They are fighting pretty hard right now. Hands utilizing the bop and block. So we'll just have to see how this lane is going to go. This was APK's decision into the Yuumi, and of course they needed to make one. This is Lahens' Yuumi. He is very, very good at this champion. I can't believe we didn't mention that during the champion select, but this is a pick synonymous with Lahens, even more so than his support Elise and top lane Sin that he was known to prior to competitive play. Checking out cover on your screen right now. He's currently ahead in CS. Nailed
Thank
it.
you, Atlas, for that. First two waves managed to get 11 out of 12. He's ahead in CS.
Yep.
Excellent.
Best mid laner
We should
in the
swap
league.
roles right now.
I mean, I think we have.
I think, yeah.
You take the next play-by-play.
All right, I will. I think Flawless saw that, and Haru...
Oh,
Wait,
doesn't have his smite.
Oh, he doesn't have Smite. But you know what? Haru didn't know that. So maybe he could have played a little bit of a mind game and tried to go for the patience reset. Didn't do it, though. Not the end of the world. Vista and Lahens down here just trying to go even in the CS part. We'll see how much it ends up getting. Temp is getting shoved in by Cover on the Azir.
Yeah, and Cover taking the Comet as well, trying to have some of that extra lane presence in the early game. Zixu just trying to pick up as much cash money as he possibly can. As you can see, he's still farming relatively fine up there towards the top side, just wanting to get that extra income.
Well, Cover very low on mana, but this is probably going to be his last wave anyway before he recalls. Temp also very low.
We're going very aggressive. Ignite's already down as Haru makes his way into the lane as well. Just a little bit too early from Vista and Lahens. But still able to regain control of this lane. Secret, not a lot of mana available. Doesn't have the same level of sustain as the Yuumi does. A lot more about the shielding. We'll be able to give health once the wild growth comes in at level 6, but we're not there yet. Still level 3s for our bottom lane.
And at this point, Hanwha, they're finding some success down in bottom, although Hybrid does have teleport available. Vista and Lahens do not, but as long as they shove in this wave at a fast enough pace, which they will. Fourth wave obviously incoming. Now this one's gonna start moving back into them.
Yep, take themselves home. Grab the first item or two, see what they can do
So-
this laning phase as it continues.
This is pretty interesting though. Given the way that the early game is panning out right now, you'd have to actually give the edge over to APK because the Zilean is going completely even in CS.
Yeah.
Also, manages to pick up the Lost Chapter.
On the
has
first
the
back.
spell on the first back. Picks up the Lost Chapter. This is a very scary situation right now for Hanwha Life because the Zilean can easily just get out of control. Now, the one thing is that Cube, because he's staying in this lane, after this wave and the next wave, he's going to be able to ding level 6. And depending on what Haru does, maybe there's a chance to kill Zilean. Although I'm not entirely sure why Cube just brought the bomb into the wave, as well as how close is if he stays in the wave and just lets him get it. What?
What? That was real weird. There's cover going to get himself to safety. Doesn't have cleanse, despite it being something he may have wanted in this particular matchup, especially considering the jungle, but has got the teleport now in order to get him back to lane when he needs to. He's already gone for one cheater recall and has himself the amplifying tome and another Doran's ring. Weaver's Waltz come through though from Tempt as they're trying desperately to lock down Hybrid and Secret. Hybrid getting over, and he does have Arcane Shift, remember guys, so a wall isn't as valuable, but they grab the flash out of the Lulu, and she will be their next target.
I feel it, Atlas. I feel a lull state. It's been a bit. We didn't have it last series.
I know, the last series was a lot of excitement actually.
I missed you since Sunday, so
missed you too.
I'm glad that we're back here.
Yep.
And it's our duty to bring the Pog state not only in podcast form, but here in this game.
That's true. So I guess we need to talk about anything other than this. We had our little Pokemon moment earlier on. We were discussing Lulu's potential Pokemon companions.
We were.
Okay, if Azir was to be a Pokemon though, which bird would it be?
Oh. I mean, he gives me sort of a Mewtwo vibe when Mewtwo has the plating on.
But he's a pigeon.
Okay,
so
Zapdos.
Would he just... Oh, Zapdos.
Yeah.
But he's,
or what
I
about
guess he's
Lugia,
yellow.
because he's like sentient.
Ooh.
He's sentient, right? So,
Yeah,
and he sort of controls Soldier Lugia Psychic. Just throwing that out there.
I'm feeling it.
You feeling it? Okay. Just wanted to put that out. What about a new
He doesn't have
bird?
hand wings.
What about a new bird? Rock flying. You never saw that one coming, did you?
Whoa.
Yeah, you didn't.
Wait, there is a rock flying. Is there a Pterodactyl?
Shut up.
Don't quiz me, LS. I know this. I'm looking forward to the new content for Pokemon Sword and Shield though. Very ready for that.
I am actually. That is the thing I'm looking forward to almost the most in the next coming months. Next thing I'm looking forward to is tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to when the LCK starts again. As Haru is looking forward to getting out of his jungle. Flawless is looking forward to flashing again. As he finds the last hit with the Cataclysm. He was holding on to that one for quite some time. And now we'll steal away a red buff as well. So APK certainly starting out of the gate swinging. Secret going to come on over and help out here as well as Cube finding a bit of damage here onto Ixu, but he's got Chrono Shift, he ain't dying.
I really like that Cube did go Merc Tread's first item. Has a lot of value against basically most of the champions on the side of APK.
Oh yeah.
Almost everyone except, I mean, Jarvan is even dealing magic damage too. So, once he gets the Cinderhulk. So far, APK are in a really comfortable spot. Tempt not managing to achieve anything here on this Talia mid lane.
And also rolling pretty well when it comes to the Drakes. It's
Yes.
either a Mountain or an Infernal to come through here. As Flawless was just going to check his face check onto Haru. As I did that, it interrupted the Arctic Assault there as well.
Yeah, Flawless just able to stay on top. Cataclysm eventually coming out just to make sure they get the kill at the end.
I think Flawless may not have necessarily seen the Arctic Assault actually get buffered during his flag and drag, and therefore was expecting it to still be available and was playing the mind game with the Cataclysm, which is why he last hit with it. I actually really like that. Out of Flawless.
So right now, yeah, I mean, there's not too much going on. You can see that Yuumi and Talia, I mean, they're pulling members over to help do this Rift Herald, but the way everything is right now, yes, Zilean only has 67 farm, but remember he had the support item, so...
Yep. He was actually even when he was down 10 CS.
Yeah.
Even in gold, down 10 CS. So
everything is going pretty fine for them. APK with an advantage. Cloud Dragon, second one of the game. That's a very nice dragon. Although, I would probably say if there is a team composition that could maybe utilize 3 Cloud Drakes into a Cloud Soul, it might be APKs with that Zilean and the Lulu.
A lot of extra movement speed augmentation here available. And their late game scaling certainly going to be there with the Ezreal and the Azir. They still have to transition though, as they are ahead over 1,000 gold, and Cover is ahead by over 20 CS. Definitely much improved from what we saw from him in the Kesper Cup and earlier in the promotion tournament. All right, we're just going to look to try and kill Secret here. He does have the wild growth, but he's still lit on fire. Shield is going to come down. Haru's going to be relatively late as there's the teleport, and we've got Flawless in here as well. So Secret is going to be able to walk away with his life. Does have to use only his heal. As the timing was decent from Hanwha, they knew that the flash was just barely coming back off cooldown, unable to lock down the kill.
Flawless just getting to really run amok everywhere. Misses out on the flag and drag.
Yeah, no knockup, but look at how far ahead he is. He is so met 5 camps in the lead. That's just nutty.
And he is he's about to, I mean, he's gonna ding level 8, Haru's level 6. So 2 level discrepancy here inside of the jungle right now. As Cuvee, I mean, he's getting some turret plates up and top. Hextech GLP completed for Zilean. And this Zilean with the Glacial Augment build, this is going to be the Glacial items, which I think is a vastly superior way to build Zilean just due to the nature of how his kit works and how he wants to conduct himself as a champion. So can Cuvee convince Ixu to walk up? This might be it.
Gonna get the double bomb quite nicely there as Cuvee walks up, takes a fair bit of damage as Haru puts himself down Shelly, but Flawless is gonna move on over. Now Haru finds himself between a rock and a hard place, however, not gonna be too much of a big deal.
Okay, Sejuani got the plates.
Well, I mean, she probably needed all the help she could get.
Yeah, well, she's not using the piggy bank Sejuani skin now, is she?
True.
Feels a little bit inefficient. Now, Atlas, I couldn't help but notice that since we stopped talking about Pokemon, there hasn't been any action. So I feel like we should maybe just try one more time.
Yeah, have another conversation.
Yeah,
about,
maybe
like,
that'll actually get them to team fight, and we could, yeah. So
all right, then I guess we'll have to figure out which other champion is more closely related to a Pokemon. We've got.
Well, I mean, Yuumi is Mew.
Yuumi is Mew, you reckon?
I mean, what else would it be?
Yeah, I guess Mew makes the most sense. True Shot Barrage is going to completely obliterate Vista's health bar. They're just trying to get this shove as much as possible. So I guess the other question...
Aatrox is like Garchomp.
Yeah, I think Aatrox has to be Garchomp, 100%.
He looks like a dark fire, or dark fire fighting if there was 3 types possible.
Yeah, it's like the different region version, you know, like like Vulpix and stuff. How they change typing based on the region they are. The Runeterra version of Garchomp
that is yeah.
You know, like Dark Fire or something like that.
Atlas, I think it's working right now. You're going to want to keep this up.
All right. Cover moving down towards the red buff that they're attempting to steal away. They won't need to try too hard, though, as Haru is not in a state of mind that he really wants to go aggressive, as he's so far behind. And they just die again. Oh, it's so adorable, isn't it? With the Snow Day skin on Lulu.
It really is.
Turned into a little snowman.
Yeah, I really like this skin on Lulu.
One of my faves. I also, the Dragon Tamer one's also
The Dragon Tamer one is really... Oh!
Oh, the steal coming through! The last chapter comes in as well, and Flawless, he's going to waste his stopwatch entirely, and we've got an Infernal Soul as the reward. Both teams now looking down the possibility of triple Infernal into the Soul. Very volatile for either side, but Hanwha look to have come alive here at around 14 minutes.
Well,
it's actually huge.
It really is. It slows down APK's ability to get a very early Infernal Soul, and the way that everything is going right now, why does Ixu have mobility boots again?
So that he can run fast on top of his running fast.
It is so bad. I mean, obviously he's able to run around the map, but he doesn't have like the support item where he's just trying to run around the map and then also rely on E. So the purpose of the boots just makes very little sense. And obviously Flawless trying to get this Cloud Dragon. Sejuani coming right over. Haru managing to get the steal. The game is close, and I say that with like quotation marks, mostly because we haven't seen a real team fight yet, and when we do, Zilean's ultimate is so impactful, as well as his bombs, to skew the terrain and really just morph it into APK's favor. Now, another question is, how much XP does Ixu have on the Zilean in his reserve bank?
Oh, that's a really good point. So we'll see whether he's going to be able to raise the level of either Flawless. I mean, Flawless is currently a level ahead of Haru anyway, but even cover, hitting level 16 earlier, things like that. There's a lot of value that you can get out of this Zilean, giving that extra experience. See where he does decide to go with that one. It looks like he has given a little bit to Flawless at least. As Hanwha not too frightened at the moment. You can see Vista playing pretty far up in this lane. As Flawless waiting in the area. Tempt is down. Flag goes into that brush just to see what the heck is going on, but they have a ward there anyway. As Shirley is being started up. 5 members of Hanwha all in the area. Last chapter is available for Lehens. As Flawless in position to go.
This is a very scary fight.
Yeah, ult gonna fly on forward as that's gonna be the chrono shift. Comes through from Ixu, so keeps him alive, but he can't get the smite down. And Shirley will go over to Hanwha Live. I like that play. Not being able to smite while you're rezzing is certainly an important thing to remember about the chrono shift.
And at this point, now with that objective going down, it's going to be 2 minutes until an Infernal comes up. So we're going to go back into a lull state. And we got 2 kills in what might potentially be almost 20 minutes of gameplay. So we were talking about Pokemon earlier and various champions. First, though, we're going to take a look at the replay here. So the Zilean ultimate has to be used really early, and then the stun is missed by Ixu, and then at the end of that, plus the concave that Hanwha Life has with the bullet time on MF, it's not going to be able, or it's not going to be possible for APK to jump into that. So the important topic here is that there's no other champions that we can talk about that might be Pokemon, but if the LCK was a Pokemon, it'd probably be Snorlax because it's always sleeping.
Yep, I would agree with you on that one. And especially when we're going to go into hibernation in the next little while. Oh dear. Yeah. I said hiatus in my tweet, but I probably should have gone with hibernation. Instead, Cover has his Nash's Tooth. We've got first item, Ardent Sensor to come down from Secret. Of course, Lulu back in the Ardent meta was certainly the best deliverer of the Ardent Sensor buff. To many targets as True Shot Barrage just to stop some backs here, and Lehens takes a hell of a lot of damage from that.
We got some ping pong going on now, Atlas. And you know, spring is just around the corner.
It is.
We are less than 3 weeks away.
I'm looking forward to going rollerblading again.
Oh, no one's going outside.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, that might be the perfect time.
Oh yeah, no one's there, you know, so you go out.
All the skate parks are empty. Perfect. This Cover sets up a Sun Turret, but is still going to run away from Cube, who's pretty strong right now. Vista face checking for the moment as Flawless is going to get tagged by the Prowling Projectile. Taking a bit of damage there as Tempt doesn't exactly know the area or the whereabouts of these members, but there's the flag and drag. Tempt in trouble, might actually have to flash to get out of this one. Doesn't even use it as Flawless just destroys him by himself. And Hanwha, they went for this. This was their choice.
Hanwha is basically getting hit with their own medicine right now, where it's a very wonky team composition by APK, but the Zilean causes so many problems. It makes it so difficult for the all-in burst of a Yuumi ultimate tied together with Aatrox looking for his resets via his World Ender, as well as how heavy committed Sejuani must be into this team comp. But also, you can never actually reach Ezreal or Azir inside of this. And combine that with the Zilean ultimate that allows the Jarvan to just go reckless into the enemy team, followed up by the Lulu Hugify thingy.
The Wild Growth.
There you go.
Yeah. Hugify sounds fine.
That's what we need the play-by-play for.
As Tempt could have flashed, could have flashed, could have flashed, could have flashed, didn't flash. And I think he just expected Lehens to come over there with the zoomies and actually get it in time. just wasn't the case. And that's no plates for Shirley or anything like that. 10 seconds until Baron is available. See Haru and Cuvee in the area as Flawless moves on down. Flags his way through here.
Oh!
And Cuvee gets away.
Cuvee does manage to get away. Let's take a look at the total CS per minute. Cover is doing a very good job.
Yeah.
He is at 11 point. Well, I'm sorry. He was at 11 point. Okay.
Damn,
he heard
we are
us.
ticking up fast.
He heard us.
As he's looking to take down a top outer turret, so no more minions to be taken, and that should go down to about that 11.4 mark. But yeah, you're right. He is farming very, very well.
All right, so he's at 11.5 right now. On the Azir. Okay, it's dropping. All right.
But he's taking a turret. He'll
now
push it back
it's up again. Oh, will he get to 12?
This wave. Well, it depends whether he's just going to be running around between these lanes and just taking all of the CS away. Has certainly been one of the tactics he's been employing, as Vista's going to take a bomb, but isn't too worried about it. True shot barrage. Avoided.
Does manage to actually spot the MF, though. With one Infernal Dragon going over to APK and the second one likely to go over as well, things are looking really, really rough for Hanwha Life. It's not even like future items that they get is going to impact the team fights. Aatrox, when he does get the Death's Dance, from that point forward, he's going to be the same champion for the rest of the game. Sejuani is already the same champion for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
But the more tanky Jarvan actually gets, as weird as that is the more time that Zilean has to delay using his ultimate, same with Lulu, etc. And it allows them to just focus on more things, but also, because Zilean's building pretty AP heavy, it just gives more res power. And
more of a health bar that Flawless is going to come back with when he does res, exactly.
Just a pretty scary situation right now. It's a 2,000, 2,500 gold advantage for APK, but doesn't really paint the picture of how far behind Hanwha Life really are.
And the CS margins for mid and bot are insane. I haven't seen Tempt and Vista down this far for a really long time, actually. It's a bit of a masterclass for APK, bottom side of the map. And seeing Ixu behind 60 CS, I mean, who cares? Honestly, he's playing Zilean. So he can be behind. He just needs to do his job, which doesn't really matter. Outside of, he'll probably build maybe Rabidon's Death Cap and then avoid stuff next to make sure that the bombs are hurting as much as possible, things like that. But he still controls the battlefield just as well with the two items that he has. So certainly feels good as he's going to get knocked up here. He's not dying anytime soon, guys.
Nope. We're just in a lull state, not a big deal. Play a polka flute, it'll be over soon.
Yep, got to wake up the LCK.
Did you perhaps see the new, did you see the new movie?
The new live action first movie?
Yes.
I really want to. I haven't actually seen it yet. It's on Netflix or something, right?
Yeah, I believe it's on Netflix. Not in Korea, though.
Oh,
so you have to use a VPN. Yeah, you just got to use a VPN.
You can't VPN Netflix. Netflix is like, their VPN protection is like really, really good.
Really?
Yeah, I can never make it work.
I VPN.
Oh. What was that? It also doesn't work for
I
you?
just use a very protective network that is my, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm imagining you have like some CIA super base, like all the servers and stuff like that over at your place. I don't have that. I just bought a VPN off the internet at the Play Store on my Android device, you know? That's what I did. I'm sure there's someone on Twitter that's going to like let us know exactly how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
Or the other side of the coin is they've already reported us to the FBI. We're going to get destroyed for using the wrong version of Netflix just so that we can watch Pokemon.
Well,
that'd be a way to go, wouldn't it?
You also needed to watch Better Call Saul, I believe.
Yeah, I do need to watch that too.
Yeah. That's the thing. As the second Infernal Dragon just going over, and not much is really happening, guys. If you're watching this game, Hanwha Life are not in a position to fight. They know that they're not in a position to fight. Hold on, I have another photo.
Yeah, gotta take one.
Actually, you know what? Let me think about this a little more.
I mean, it's Aatrox and Yuumi, to be honest. It's probably fine in this instance.
The thing is that you're kind of poking with. All right, so I actually just had this conversation on Reddit in between series, where Aatrox's active damage, he has to be hitting you in order to heal. So before the fights even start, Ezreal, Azir, and Zilean hit him several times, which means several either applications of just raw damage from like Death Cap or something, or multiple applications of a Leandri's Burn.
Yeah.
So by the time he does start healing, all things considered, total damage output, Azir could probably deal more than the healing prevented, and Yumi's single target. So I think this one's definitely a close call, but the dynamic of how the two team compositions fight against each other, in the sense that Jarvan sort of runs forward, gives a really clean target for Cubase to hit.
True.
I think that this is the one that is a little bit interesting.
Yeah. I'm not going to condemn Cover entirely for going for it. Still sitting on his lost chapter, just using that for the mana, as APK is just burning down this Baron, and it is going down so fast. This is here, certainly doing a lot of work. The Weaver's Wall, just to try and keep them in there, but I think that APK want that, as the Emperor's Divide goes entirely wide, and the Baron is secured by the Ezreal. Ixu extraordinarily low, but he does get himself a heal, and he's speeding himself away from this one. Remember, Chrono Shift going to be available.
Oh.
Doesn't actually get prematurely popped on anyone. Ixu not stressing about the trigger figure so much at the moment.
Yeah, and right now, this is basically like Hanwha Life is just, it's meat that's been left out.
Yeah, starting to smell a little bit bad.
Yeah, this is a tuna and mayonnaise sandwich that's left out in the heat in the middle of summer.
Yeah, with some cheese in there as well.
Yeah, you get a little bit of cheese in there as well. I really like that. Yeah. So right now we're just really waiting for the mold to appear, which is coming in about 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Thankfully they used, that was craft singles, so a lot of preservatives in there. So the mold's going to take a little while as far as the cheese is concerned, but the tuna certainly could be in a rough spot as we move further into this game. Who represents the cheese?
I don't even know.
Yeah, which part of the composition is that?
Well, we just see the amount of zone control that APK have with their team composition inside of the Zilean bombs, as well as the Emperor's Divide. All of the accelerant granted by Lulu, Zilean, Ezreal's Arcane Shift, everything is just so obnoxious and difficult for Hanwha Life to handle.
Well, Cuba's gone for a 1v2 right now, as Ixu's keeping him at distance. But he does jump down from his world, and as Hybrid not going to find the first Mystic Shot. Then Cover sets up the soldiers. It takes him a long time to die, and that does mean that at least a Sun Turret falls down. Meanwhile, Tempt is on the bottom side, taking an outer turret. But this inner will go down, as well as the Aatrox, and with a Baron buff. Oh, and the back stopped. This should mean a broken open base, purely off the back of that one kill. APK have played this game
they've
really well.
Very clean. Now, there's not a lot of action, but honestly, they weren't supposed to have action. Ezreal and Lulu wanted to coast into the mid game. No fights, no deaths. It's totally fine. Jarvan just needed to protect them.
He's going to be absolutely fine. Tempt is looking for Ixu, who gets slowed down. Weaver's Wall as Tempt just at least breaks him off from the rest of his team. And Hanwha have defended for now.
All of them except Lulu can get over the wall.
Yeah, they were just biding their time. You can see Vista. He's going to walk on through Cover. He's over here, though, and you don't want to be in a corridor with this Azir. The Yumi's going to take down the Ezreal. Haru's going to die in response, though, as Cubase had just respawned and made it back to the fight. But a 1-for-1 is not good enough. It's not going to get Hanwha back in this.
And also, a 1-for-1's really bad when you know that Infernal Dragon is in 40 seconds and your jungler was the one that just died. But also, Hybrid has teleport available. So, take a look at this replay here. Aatrox. Take a look at him. He's dealing quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, trying to hit whatever's in front of him that he can actually still manage to hit. The Umbral Dash was good to get out of the Mystic Shot, but otherwise, he wasn't going anywhere. And with the rest of Hanwha just waiting around and trying to get waves pushed bottom lane, you saw the outer turret fell on the bottom side of the map. But they lost a Nexus turret and an inhibitor, which is absolutely going to set APK up for getting this Infernal Drake.
Yep, we're seeing the live cam right now. Red buff almost went over to Zilean.
That's not even what we're concerned about right now. As we have a look at the tail end of this fight. Yeah, exactly right. Infernal Soul will be taken. No way to get vision in the area.
Bot lane being shoved right now. The replay on your screen is distracting you from the bottom left-hand side.
Yep.
All right.
Another siege going to break out as the conga line of minions is heading towards this inner turret. Still only 3,000 gold, but triple Infernal, Infernal Soul, plus an Ocean for good measure, and just a better composition means that life is very hard for Hanwha.
Well, at this point, things are definitely getting very dicey.
All right, Weaver's Wall comes out. Ixu is cut off from the rest of the team, but he's probably not the ideal target to be over to the side. Super Soaker out from Temp, but doesn't find the seismic shove. And Hanwha back again to sieging now without their wall available as Cube has to ult defensively. Absolutely not what he wants to do. Honestly, this Aatrox is all but useless at this point. When you don't have the tempo or initiative advantage, even if you find a good flanking position, it just doesn't matter. That's an ulti out onto the Zillion. Chrono Shift comes in. They do decide to wait it out, understanding that he'll get back more health if that doesn't happen. Redemption coming through to keep APK alive. Double bomb comes down. Big damage onto Vista, who just explodes. And cover, gigantic in this fight. Takes down 2 so far. Temp now, is he even safe on the fountain is the question, as there's only one Nexus turret. And the one Nexus is going to be taken down as a result. APK with a resounding win to start this one off, as Hybrid has so many shields from the rest of his team. Oh my god, the double! So close to actually coming forward. It was almost the quadra kill for good old Cover. Damn. That was not the performance I was expecting out of Cover, the mid laner that really did not show us anything.
And he came out here really playing so much better than in previous times. As you can see, some of the APK players coming out onto the stage, as well as the coaches.
Just really impressive.
Oh, actually, Kaney not here, it doesn't seem like.
I didn't see him on the screen just there. He might be backstage. We'll have to find out. As damn, like I don't know what you knew that I didn't about this APK roster, but we haven't seen this level of play out of them for a really long time, and you called it.
Well, Alice, I just thought that maybe. Maybe there's a chance that when APK isn't pressured by the top teams, they can flourish a little bit. Because honestly, we said this coming into the match, even though they're in the bottom standing, their wins and also their games have looked a lot more impressive.
I mean, to be fair, like, you're exactly right. They took a game off of Freaka, they took a game off Griffin,
right.
They beat KT 2-0, and then they had to go up against T1, DragonX, and Gen G in a row.
Games against them look so much better than some of the other bottom standing teams. So you can't just look at a team's standings, you have to really look at the context that surrounds
and
the wins or the losses.
they've done in their games.
Right, because Hanwha Life, in their wins, it really isn't Hanwha Life always winning. It's really draft edges are just so insane. And they've found some edges that way. So it's definitely a bit awkward. That's why I wanted to give APK the edge up here. And I almost changed my vote because, well, I guess I did because Cover was playing.
Yeah.
And doesn't seem like it actually mattered. Cover with a really impressive performance. I would be really surprised if he doesn't get POG because his CS per minute, the pressure in mid allowed Flawless to do the stuff that he was doing early on.
I think that Flawless did certainly step up in this game
suffocation.
as well, because he made Haru irrelevant through the entirety of the game.
Well, that's why we know that the MVP is going to go to Lulu.
No, it's 100% Flawless. You saw it. The cameraman gave it away. It did like the zoom in on Flawless with his big grin at the end.
Who controls the camera? Is it Minnow?
Oh, I don't know.
Does
maybe.
he tell him to zoom in and he's there? He vetoes our votes.
Yeah. He's like, no, we're gonna need the zoom, and that's actually going to influence like what we tick. You know, it's all subliminal messaging. But we'll be able to find out who gets that player of the game after a short break, and we'll also be able to see whether it's another 2-0 for APK to put under their belt. Stick around.
윌리엄 빅고 아직도 들어가도 돼. 봐봐봐.
얘네 궁다 빠졌다.
내가 피쳐줄게,
야
피쳐줄게.
이거 삐뽀
받아라,
스턴 걸어놨어 삐뽀 스턴.
가자. 아들.
나이스 형님.
나이스.
얘가 끝내줘.
끝나줘.
터져.
나이스. 수고했어.
야, 어때? 좋았다.
들어올려.
이거야, 이거.
들어올려.
너 총무나 조심해.
뭐야.
됐다.
내가 살려줄게.
야, 잡다.
잡아.
이거지.
그렇지!
나이스!
나이스!